There are one particular group of trinomials called perfect square trinomials because they are the product of a binomial that is multiplied by itself, or a binomial that is squared. Now, you don't have to learn any new formulas or approaches to factor these trinomials because what we talked about earlier with the AC method, or recognizing number patterns, should be sufficient to find the factors of any trinomial. However, if you recognize that your trinomial is a perfect square, then you can quickly write down the factors because perfect square trinomials follow this pattern. So if my factors are a plus b squared, or a plus b times a plus b, that results in this trinomial. If my factors are a minus b times a minus b, that results in this trinomial. There's a similar pattern going on. So the way to recognize a perfect square trinomial is if the first term and the last term are perfect squares, right? And then you check to see if the middle term follows this pattern. If it does, you can use this approach or this formula going backwards to factor. Here's the trinomial that you're starting with. You're going to write the factors, which are over here. Let's see how this works with a couple of examples. So factor 9x squared plus 12x plus 4. I recognize, oh, this first term, 9x squared, that's a perfect square. Let's write down its square root. The square root of 9x squared is 3x. The last term, 4, that's also a perfect square, and its square root is 2. So let's see if this trinomial fits one of the forms above that begin with an a squared and that end with a b squared. So here's the a and the b. We need to multiply them and make sure the middle term here works out to be 2ab. So 2ab would be 2 times 3x times 2. That's 12x. So this follows the format a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, which means that its factored form is a plus b squared. 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2. Here's an expanded way of writing those factors. Of course, the simplified way would be to write this. So here's our final factored form. Looking at one more example, factor 81y squared minus 72y plus 16. The first term here is a perfect square. The square root of 81y squared is 9y. The last term is also a perfect square, and the square root of 16 is 4. And then I'm going to check to make sure the middle term is twice the product of these. So 9y times 4 is 36y, multiplied by 2, that's 72y. So we have negative 72y. Here I have a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. That's the pattern that this trinomial follows if a equals 9y and b equals 4. So what are its factors? Its factors, according to this formula, are a minus b squared. So we have 9y minus 4 times 9y minus 4. That's the expanded form. Or in simplified form, you could write 9y minus 4 squared. Those are the factors. So following these formulas can help you quickly identify the factors of perfect square trinomials.